Hello friends. Today I am going to talk on new topic called elements of cost. This topic is very helpful for preparation of cost sheet. So before preparing the cost sheet, you should understand what are the elements through which a cost sheet can be prepared. If you are new to my channel, I request you to please subscribe my channel eContent VB for the latest videos and updates. So elements of cost sheet, as we already know, cost is consist of material, labor and expenses. So while preparing the cost sheet, we should first understand these three elements, that is direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. In the direct material, before you calculate the direct material, you should take into account opening stock of raw material. In that opening stock, you have to add purchases which are made while purchasing the raw material plus carriage on purchases. And from that, we have to minus the closing stock of raw material so that we can arrive the cost of material consumed. And in that cost of material consumed, there are some other expenses which are considered as an direct material. To give an example of direct material, the cotton which is used in textile industry is an example of direct material. Nails which are used in furniture, then thread which is used in stitching of the garment. So these are the few examples of direct material. In a simple word, we can say direct material is the amount of material that is used for manufacturing of any product or services. Now second element is direct labor. Direct labor, they are the human resources of an organization, those who are converting the raw material into the finished product. So the actual persons, those who are working in the manufacturing sector, these persons they get an remuneration. So here there are few examples of direct labor, that is machine operator, shoemaker, weaver, tailor. These are the actual persons, those who are actually converting the raw material into finished product. And for that purpose, whatever the remuneration or the honorarium they are getting, so that will be considered as an cost of direct labor. And third element is direct expenses. Direct expenses are also called as an chargeable expenses. So while manufacturing, some expenses have to be incurred. For example, hire of special plant for a particular job. Sometimes for manufacturing a particular product, we require some special type of machinery. So instead of purchasing that machinery, we hire that machinery from someone else. So hiring charges of that particular machinery will be generally considered as an direct expenses. Then traveling expenses for securing the contract is again an example of direct expenses. Cost of patent right. Sometimes you are manufacturing the products which are already available in the market, but for that purpose you need to take the patent rights from the owner of that particular design or the maker of that particular product. Cost of special drawing, design and layout, carriage paid for purchase of material, royalties paid, and depreciation or the hire of plant used on a contract at a site. So these are the examples of direct expenses. When we clubbed up direct material, direct labor and direct expenses, we got the prime cost. So prime cost is nothing but this is the real and the first basic cost of a product, because without the three basic ingredient, cost cannot be incurred, and therefore this cost is called as an prime cost. So it is the aggregate of direct material, direct labor and direct expenses. Therefore an equation can be prepared: prime cost is equal to direct material, direct labor plus direct expenses. In an examination they may ask you a question regarding what is the equation of prime cost. So for that purpose you need to remember this formula. Now, moving forward, once you calculate the prime cost, then you have to add factory overheads into the prime cost. So factory overheads are nothing but these are the expenses, indirect expenses, because here the word overhead has been used. So whenever the word overhead is being used, please keep in mind all the indirect material, labor and expenses will be considered. So factory overheads are the expenses which are incurred at the factory premises. For example, factory rent, factory power, indirect material, indirect wages, supervisor salary, drawing office salary, factory insurance, factory asset, depreciation. So these are the examples of factory overheads. In the factory overhead, when we add the opening stock of work in progress. Now what is work in progress? In the first stage, we procure the material, and after procuring the material in the factory, we have to spend some expenses, and these expenses are being used for converting the raw material into finished product. But actually, the product is not yet finished, and therefore, whatever is the portion of work that we have already done till this moment, so that will be considered as an work in progress because it has not yet finished, and therefore the opening stock of raw material has to be added into the factory overheads. And then here you should please make note of it that here the closing stock of work in progress has to be minused. Then we will get the works cost, or you can say factory cost. Here in this presentation by mistake the plus sign has been added, but you should please take into account the closing stock of work in progress has to be minus, so you will get the factory cost or works cost. Then in the works cost, if we add the administrative overheads, administrative means these are the expenses which are indirect and which are related to the administrative office. For example, office rent, office asset depreciation, general charges, audit fee, bank charges, counting house salary, other office expenses. So once we add the office expenses into the factory cost or the works cost, we are getting the cost of production. In the cost of production, if we add the opening stock of finished goods and we minus the closing stock of finished goods. Now why this is being added and minused in this level? The reason is in the primary stage we have purchased the material in the prime cost. Then in the factory we have processed the material. So at that time there was an work in progress stock, but now the factory has already completed their task and the office expenses has been already added. Now the product has been finished, and that is the reason the opening stock of finished goods and closing stock of finished goods will be considered over here, and we will get the cost of goods sold. Now in the cost of goods sold and the sales, so cost of goods sold is nothing but it is a total cost of goods or services manufactured. So from the total cost, if we minus the cost of sales, then we will get the selling and distribution overheads. The reason is there are certain expenses still even after the production which we need to incur. For example, for any product or service it requires an promotion. So the selling expenses like salesman commission, salesman salary, traveling expenses, advertisement, these are the expenses which are incurred for promoting a particular product to make it sellable in the market, as well as the product has to move from the go down to the market. So for that purpose some delivery expenses can be incurred. For example, delivery van expenses, sales tax, then bad debt. These are the few examples of distribution expenses. So in the cost of goods sold, when we add selling and distribution overhead, we get the cost of sales. This is nothing but total cost. So from the total cost, if we minus the sales, we will get either a profit or loss. The reason is from the total cost, if the sales are less, then we will be having a loss. And from the total cost, if our sales is greater than the total cost, then we will get the profit. So this was the today's presentation. If you have any of the doubt or queries regarding this presentation, please comment. And if you like my video, please share, subscribe and comment on the video. Thank you.